Hey everybody, and welcome back to the board meeting. Today we're doing a little R&R, reviews and ratings, taking a look at all the games that me and mine have been playing this last week or so. And I have to say, these games that I played in the last week have been really fun. I had a good time. So spoiler alert, none of these games that I played are bad, and the worst ones to me are just average. With that being said, let's jump into the first one with Pandemic Hot Zone. Pandemic Hot Zone is the small, almost filler version of Pandemic. You only have 3 diseases instead of 4 like in the original, and you are only moving around North America. I played this with a couple people, and then I played a 2-handed solo game. I'll give this a 7.5 rating, and if you like Pandemic, there is no reason you wouldn't like this. I really like having this option for Pandemic if I want a shorter game with still all the fun of regular Pandemic. Let's move on to a silly little game called the Pop-Tarts Game. Now, when I got the Pop-Tarts Game, I got it off the internet for something like $7. And I got it almost as a joke, because I figured it would be such a gimmick of a game. The box is even the size of a Pop-Tarts box. You'll be sliding different Pop-Tarts from the main area onto your plate as either a frozen or toasted Pop-Tart, which I didn't even know frozen Pop-Tarts were a thing. And you can move around some cards here and there and manipulate what Pop-Tarts you'll end up getting to score points on. All in all, I'm giving this a 6.5, which absolutely stunned me because I was thinking this was going to be just straight trash. But there is a game here. Nothing amazing, and I probably won't keep it, but it's not a bad game. Now let's check out Horrified. I played Horrified this week a few times, again in preparation for a video I made a few days ago comparing Pandemic and Horrified. Check that out if you haven't yet. Anyways, Horrified is a cooperative game where players will be moving around a board, trying to defeat the universal monsters, and every monster is unique and defeated in a different way. I really like Horrified, and I've played it a few dozen times already. I'm giving Horrified an 8.5, and it is a great gateway-style cooperative game that I would argue belongs on every gamer's shelf. Moving on to a magical game with Mystic Market. Mystic Market is a set collecting game where players will be buying, selling, and swapping different mythological ingredients like phoenix feathers, pixie dust, and dragon scales. Once a player has a full set, they may sell it, which affects the ever-changing market. You can also make potions, which will give you special abilities. This game gets a 7 rating from me, even though I feel weird about the potions because a lot of them are very take that, which usually isn't my thing. Still, I enjoyed this game quite a bit, though I wish they took out some of the meanness of this game. Now let's take a look at Red 7. Red 7 is a fast player elimination game. On your turn, you can play a card in front of you, or onto the rule change pile, or both. If you are not winning at the end of your turn, you get eliminated. This is a pretty neat little card game, and it is very fast, which is always a good thing if you're dealing with a player elimination game, in my opinion. It's pretty interesting that all of the colors have rules on them, like have the most even cards or have the most cards below 4. It's just a snappy, fast game, and it was taking my group maybe 5 minutes to play through each game. I'm giving this a 7 rating, and I think this will be one of those card games I buy multiple times just to give it away to people I think would enjoy it. Jumping over to another card game with Hats. Hats is not new to me, and this is a game I've said on this channel a couple of times that I like it quite a bit for a little card game. You are laying cards down on this tea table and exchanging cards and placing your new cards in your tableau, and you score points for the colors of your card depending on what cards and where they end up on the tea table at the very end of the game. It is just a really brain-burning, fun card game that I give a 7.5 rating to. At this point, I've shown this game to so many people, and I think it's one of those card games that never got the traction it really deserves. We might as well stick with card games and move on to Hanabi. We broke out Hanabi, and I hadn't played it in a year or two after we kind of binge played it for a while. In Hanabi, players cannot see their own hand of cards, but can see everyone else's, and you will be working together to give each other clues about cards in their hand and laying them down in the correct order. This almost always feels like a party game to me, more than a card game because of all the laughs we get from it. I give it a 6.5 rating, and it is still a game I wouldn't mind playing a few more times. Taking a look now at Robin of Loxley. Robin of Loxley is a 2-player racing game where players are picking up pieces in the center to make a collection and sell off. On the outside is where players will be racing around, and each tile has a different goal on it. As soon as you meet the criteria, you move on to that tile, and you can also pay 1 coin to just skip that goal. You can meet several tile criterias in one move, so you can make these huge leaps around the board some turns. I gave this game a 7 and have really enjoyed my first few plays of it. I do wish it had put its theme more into the game, but it's really just an abstract game. Now moving on to a game that doesn't pretend to have a theme with Yinsh. Yinsh is a game that I've been brushing aside for a long time, even though you always hear people mention it. It is definitely a well-loved game, and I finally broke down and got it and played it for the first time. I was thinking while reading the rulebook, this is just checkers meets 5 in a row. And hey, it basically is. But it puts those two together in a beautiful little strategic puzzle. You will be jumping pieces, and every time you jump a piece, it turns to the other color. I really liked this game, and will be giving this game a 7.5 rating, and this will be sticking around my game bag for a while now. Now on to the last game of the week with Nidavellir. Nidavellir is this set collecting, bidding / drafting game about drafting different dwarves into your group. Each dwarf color scores in a different way, and you are going to have to watch what other people have in their little army of dwarves. Then if you get a full set of every colored dwarf, you get to then take a hero dwarf, which have unique special abilities on them. We played this game at game night on the same day that I purchased it, and we played it a few times. It is a very fun and pretty simple game. I'm giving a great rating of 9. Everyone in the game group really liked it, and a few even said they are going to purchase their own copy. And that will adjourn this meeting and wrap up this R&R episode. Did you guys agree with my assessment of these games, or was I completely off base? Let me know in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like and subscribe to see more videos from me in the future at the board meeting. I hope you all have an amazing day, and take care, everyone.